Good evening, SpeedGaming. You're watching another Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer tournament race. Tonight we have a matchup between Pizza and Cantaloupeme. This is a round 2 matchup, so both of these guys have advanced through at least one phase of the bracket. I am Eleanor Lamb, and I, at least for now, will be doing sole commentary. And that's a spacer beam on the floating island. You might see some folks pick that up. Our tracker tonight is the fabulous Link Force Zero. Ooh, a lamp in the back of Sanctuary. Just being just me, I'm gonna miss a lot of things, so I apologize in advance. Looks like Cantaloupe is going to be doing the hula hand play, which is a play that I always like in this randomizer. It gives you 225 rupees, which lets you buy bombs if you need to. Pizza checking out the back of Uncle, or rather just the Uncle. And that kind of negates the whole point of hula hand, but at least now, if Zora comes in logic, you got plenty of money. And the Uncle has just 20 bucks. Looks like Pizza is probably going to head off to Kakariko Village. I see in chat is already going nuts for Aga with that early lane. Looks like Pizza's heading up to check the tree pole and the bush crab. We'll see if he does a lumberjack check. I would expect Cantaloupe to do basically the exact same thing. Ooh, just single rupees off the bush crab. That's never what you want to see. 20 bucks from the tree pole, though. That's nice. And Pizza kills the bush crab. He says, oh, don't watch your one ruby. That was a different tier tree pull there that Cantaloupe did, and he got 5 bucks. So. And I'm not sure what that was on the. It looked important. Nope, just 20 bucks. Not important in the slightest. Unless you're like Mr. Scrooge or whatever. Could you imagine Scrooge McDuck playing this game? He would get all the rupees. Ooh, that's a Varia suit in the mushroom spot. That's a heck of a find. Doesn't do a whole lot without that morphing ball, but once they get the morphing ball, that's going to be a lot of Super Metroid available. Zaruva in the chat is saying that there should be a Scrooge McDuck avatar. I totally want that. Pizza checking that other tier tree pole. Doesn't grab all the rupees. I kind of feel like you should have gone out of your way to get those extra 10 just in case you need to do something. I'm admittedly terrible at this game though, so what do I know? Pizza's just gone really, his aspect ratio just got messed up. Oh, it's back. They say Pizza gained about 30 pounds. Got some power bombs in the back of the tavern. And in Blind's Hut, we've got some super missiles, some regular missiles, some super missiles, and some regular missiles. That's a pretty explosive Blind's Hut. More super missiles. You know, you're not really going to complain about super missiles. They're not what you want to see this early, but, you know, they're super missiles. They're really useful. You know, if you don't find the beam count, or charge beam at least, you need to have 60 supers minimum. Pizza checking the, wow, this is just the Kakariko of super missiles. Super missiles on the bomb merchant, or bottle merchant rather, some missiles in the back of the well. Some more super missiles, an energy tank, the red cane. Red cane's always great to find early. It makes doing a few dungeons easier, like Pod. You can not have to do the puzzle. The main one that I like is Skull Woods. You don't have to do the stupid Gibdo push the statue around room. It's very annoying. But the red cane, you just go boop, and it's easy. And now we're just getting checks that the other runner has already done. We'll see if Pizza decides to blind check the race game or whether he's going to do the check. I think there's a pretty good argument for making the check and A Link to the Past solo randomizer. I think that argument is not as strong in the combo randomizer because it's a very good chance it's ammo, and if it's ammo, you still need ammo. I'm waiting for the patch where Link can use missiles and super missiles. We're gonna get a library check here. And in the library we have a bottle. Store that. That could be used. Depending on when they find the boots, they might need that. Or it might be completely unnecessary. I always wonder, why do these guys just have like a bombable wall in their hut, and don't they like get mad at you for blowing a hole in their wall? Like if somebody blew a hole in the wall in my townhouse, I'd be pretty mad. And that's the blue mail at the race game, which is totally worth getting in my opinion. Yep, and Cantaloupe's gonna go grab it. You're still on 3 hearts, and I'm sure both of these runners could probably beat the game 3 hearts green mail, but that's not fun. Let's see here. We had a crystal on Hera, a blue pendant on Eastern, and I think a crystal on Death. I'm sure Link Force probably got a much better look at it than me. It looks like that is correct. I'm told in chat by Solgnir that apparently you reconcile the brothers by blowing a hole in their wall, so all they needed was some explosives to get along. And in the back of Shashrala's hut, on Pizza's side, we have a Pizza Heart, an energy tank, and another energy tank. So that's 3 energy tanks for Super Metroid. That's nice to have. Looks like Pizza's gonna make a play to Eastern Palace, which is a bit of a gamble, but might pay off. They don't really have a lot of other progression available to them aside from South Shore, which certainly there's a lot of items at South Shore, but I think that this is a totally defensible play, ducking into Eastern with what they. Get to listen to the fabulous pendant music. I think I prefer the pendant music to the Dark World Dungeon music, personally. Hey, half magic! That's excellent to find this early. Yeah, I'm not sure that makes the Eastern Palace play worth it, but that's still a nice, Cantaloupe's heading down to the castle dungeon. Cantaloupe doing bomb strats. If Pizza does not find anything of value weapon-wise, he will have a lot more magic to use the red cane here if he wants.
So I hope I'm not intruding on anything, Eleanor, but this seems like so much fun I had to join you.
Excellent. Welcome to a big shout out to Zaruvian. Am I pronouncing?
Zaruvian is how I would pronounce it, but Zaru works.
Well, it's your name. I feel like it should be pronounced the way you want it to. So I saw you in chat, so I think you've been keeping up on the race. They have not got much of value in terms of progression yet.
So far, looks like the only things we've seen are a Varia suit and a cane. And of course, we know about the bottle vault. There's 3 others that we'll probably find before that. And of course, our lamp. So that means this big chest location, or excuse me, this big key location in Eastern could be hiding something. We've already seen the compass in the big chest. There's at least one item hiding out still.
Yep, but it's important to note that this is in logic, because they have the lamp. Oh boy, Cantaloupe living dangerously.
Chat wants me to pay homage to the meme beam that we saw on the island. Good chance if we don't see plasma, they might pick it up, but I wouldn't bet on it.
I was so busy watching Cantaloupe give the runaround to this green guard that... Ooh, Ice Beam in Eastern. So that does open up a few things.
That's an ice find, if you ask me. It's going to make a few things a little bit easier to traverse in Super Metroid. It's also going to make our endgame a lot smoother. So you can freeze the Metroid instead of waiting for 3 power bombs.
That hurt. I just want you to know.
Chat is see plasma before we see mirror and we get Dark World access. They are probably going to pick up that spacer beam, and that's probably the right call.
No, Pizza's checking. Ooh, that's a power glove in the Dark Cross. That's a heck of a find.
Now, does Cantaloupe can go straight through to the back of Escape because they have a key? So why he save and quit, I don't know.
There's the other glove in Mini Mordorm Cave. Wow, and a gravity suit. Okay. And a hookshot. Alrighty then. I'm guessing Cantaloupe thought it was quicker to save and quit and go in the back of Escape this way, but I feel like that can't possibly be true.
I think they're about the same. I'd have to time it out to know the difference. But yeah, that is an absolute stacked Mini Mordorm Cave.
And there's Spacer's dead. Everybody get your F's in chat for Spacer. We've got Plasma in the back of us.
Well, the gravity suit, I literally just choked on my drink. I'm just...
Yeah, we went from no progression to holy cow progression. Now, Cantaloupe, I'm going to say, I think, has an early advantage. Pizza might put off that Dark Cross check for quite a while. Although he's got the lamp, and I would think the lamp... Ooh, there's the flute and Ice Cave. Ice Rod Cave. Pizza's certainly not going to be feeling blue about that.
I think I could warm up to that pun.
I was gonna say, you asked for that. Cantaloupe's gonna rescue the old man, which makes sense. You've got the lamp, why wouldn't you? Interesting that Pizza is gonna do the fake flipper. We'll see if he heads... He doesn't have enough money for Zor.
Well, that's interesting, because he actually did lift up that desert rock that would have gotten him the extra couple of rupees to get to 500. And yeah. I think that he's realized it.
And without the Moon Pearl, he can't do the waterfall check. So he's probably just going to end up checking the hobo, I'd assume.
I would imagine that you would save and quit here just because once you get the flute, that's going to be faster to check later. Get that turned on.
Cantaloupe's going to be checking out the high jump item. I've never seen Morph Ball here, which seems odd. Hobo under the bridge just has some missiles.
You know, I always worry when the hobo gives you explosives. What the heck is he doing with those under a bridge?
It's a good question.
We did see a grapple on Croc Escape, and that means that in order to get that item, we're probably going to need something more along the lines of a space jump.
If ball bombs would put that in logic too.
Yeah, either of your Camfly items would.
Pizza's activating this flute. So we're looking for really that Moon Pearl. We're looking for, as usual, both the orbs, the Moon Pearl and the Morph Ball. I would have a sneaking suspicion that the Morph Ball is going to be on some unfortunate location in Super Metroid, given the items they've found.
Yeah, the Morph Ball can be vanilla, and at this point, more and more likely that that could be down there too. You hope not.
Yeah, I'm thinking Morph Ball in like Alpha Power Bombs or something terrible like that. With Varia, they would need I believe, some kind of jumping, like high jump boots or space jump. No, actually, Ice, I believe, puts Bubble Mountain in. You can freeze the Nova, Sova, whatever they are, and jump up through the Cathedral.
I don't think it puts that in logic for normal.
I'm pretty sure I had a scene where it was
can fly.
I'm pretty sure that just Ice does it. I could be wrong.
I did see someone in chat say it could be at Alpha Power Bombs that Ice Beam actually puts the Red Tower Climb in logic.
Yep. Hey, there's a sword in the dam.
It's interesting. Pizza did not check this at location, even though he went into Mini Moldworm Cave.
That is an interesting choice, yeah.
Of course, now that he has the flute, he can go to it any time he wants.
And another energy tank in the dam, which, wow, Cantaloupeme just says nope. I mean, I guess with like already 3 energy tanks in both suits, I can't really blame him.
So one thing the chat wants to know about, we are a second sword or a cape away from Aghanim being in logic.
Well, there's a Bombos in Mini Moldworm Cave. Or, sorry, Paradox. Cantaloupeme gets his Titan's Mitt. And his Gravity Suit. We'll see if he continues on to Ice Rod Cave to get that flute. Or whether he takes that, since he's walking out, I would assume so. On the floating island we have super missiles. Nobody's gonna get those.
To answer chat, yes, actually, Lamp was our first item. It was the chest in Sanctuary. The long slog through Spiral Cave without boots never feels too good. Until you open that chest and it's something you want.
That's the $1 million question right now. Does Spiral Cave have anything? Not really. So Cantaloupe's gonna get his flute, go and activate it, I'd assume, and then probably head up to East Death Mountain. We'll see where Pizza's heading. Looks like he's going to the back of Escape. Hopefully he checks Dark Cross while he's down here.
the ice beam was our big key chest in the Eastern Palace, for those asking. There's our map check. We see a 3 and a 7 on Desert and Hera, and Eastern we already knew was a pendant, for those of us not seeing it the first time like me. So we have a 2-pendant Dark World, and an early key to Samaria. That is a mixed signal, I would think.
Looks like Pizza's gonna do his damn check.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes off to the desert just to grab the Agena check here before he goes.
I think there's a really high likelihood of that, if given the play he's made.
Now, our runners are starting to run out of locations. You got Agena, we've got Zora, and we've got Up Red Tower, are the big 3 that we can do right now.
Pizza also... Okay, good. He is going to put that energy tank. And we're going to see what's on the desert ledge here. On the desert ledge we have 50 bucks. Hooray! You know, I really wish I could just walk around outside and find like 50 bucks and 300 bucks just lying around.
I used to be excited just to find a quarter.
I feel like I don't even stop to pick up change I see on the ground anymore. Quarter meant a lot more to me when I was a kid.
Quarter used to be a gumball when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too.
Now you need 2. Yeah, East Death Mountain didn't have too much for us here. We are going to see Cantaloupe pick up his Bombos medallion, but that's about it.
Looks like Pizza's gonna do the castle dungeon checks here. Which we know will get him his Titan's Mitts, but Titan's Mitts don't really do anything without the Moon Pearl. Or hopefully he gets his Titan's Mitts anyways. And I think that's it for Zelda checks. I think at this point it's gotta be in Super Metroid.
It's Zora, it's Vanilla, or it's somewhere between Norfair and Red Tower.
Yes, Zora.
Nobody wants to think about Scamfish.
I wonder if Pizza forgot he has a sword? Don't you? I guess he's... Well, I guess he doesn't need the key from that card. Without the Moon Pearl, is the Screw Attack item in Logic? I want to say it is?
Yeah, you need to be able to get in and out of the Screw Attack item, which is as Mind of Me has told us, we need either Screw Attack or Morph Ball and some form of bomb. So it can't be there.
I expect Cantaloupe's gonna be fluting up to the top of the... Death Warping is extra annoying when you have blue band. Cantaloupe's actually heading over to Sashrala. Pizza is heading for the Dark Cross, so he'll be getting his Titan's Mitts. That was a green pendant Misery. Pizza.
Yeah, Pizza left the key on the first guard in the Princess Escape sequence.
He
doesn't need that, does he?
Nope, he doesn't need it. Because he already did.
It's the Dark Cross door that has the locked door on it.
Yep, you can get the Dark Cross without the key, yeah, so he's actually totally fine. Alright, Pizza, where are you going? I'm gonna want pizza by the end of this race, aren't I?
You don't already want pizza?
I mean, I kinda do. I'm trying to fight the urge. Looks like he is heading to Norfair. Oh, Spike Rock. Maybe if everyone spends their channel points, we can all have pizza. That should be something you should be able to spend channel points on.
It's just I just saw someone go pizza randomizer in chat, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, that sounds good in concept, but
It sounds good until you get like anchovies and pineapple on the same pizza.
I was actually thinking the exact same thing.
Oh no! Oh good, you got him. I was gonna say pizza almost missed the Sova, but he. All right, pizza. Where are you gonna go?
I mean, there's not too much left to check in Link to the Past as of this moment, so my bets are he's going to go up as anticipated.
With the without morph ball and some power bombs, this is the easiest way to go up Red Tower. I think it's the only way to go up Red.
Yeah, the tower climb is in logic. The randomizer is looking for you to have Ice Beam to freeze the rippers on that on both parts of the tower.
Of course, a lot of our runners can just get it without ice. But if you got it, you might as well use it.
The fast and easy way.
And now it's the most annoying room in the game. At least to me.
That's one of the annoying rooms. There's a few.
Cantaloupe gets his ice beam and saves and quits. And looks like he's probably... Nope, he's staying in Zelda.
Oh ho, everybody knows what that means.
Just in case you don't know, that means Aghanim's in logic, which means the Moon Pearl, Morph Ball, whatever our progression is, could be on the Pyramid Ledge. Nobody wants to...
I would be willing to guess that our runners are probably going to exhaust all their options before they go through the Hyrule Castle climb.
If one of them feels like they are at a disadvantage, it's possible one of them might take the Aga gamble. So I'm kind of interested to see what the actual plays are going to be. Cantaloupe is checking that Zora. On the Zora ledge, just 10 sticks. Nobody wants those.
Alright, Scamfish, we are looking for some form of progression. Could it be a Moon Pearl? Could it be a Morph Ball? Could it be a Screw Attack? We don't know. We're going to pay one hefty price to find out.
Yeah, it could be the boots or something, too. Suppose it could be the bow. I think there's an item stone almost. I think Pizza's gonna take the gamble and just do Aga, which, as we saw, Zora was not. Nope, Pizza changed his mind.
I think he's just doing that for a quick progress save before he goes down.
That
Just
makes
then he
sense.
can just reset right up.
That was an excellent moonfall. Cantaloupe's making his climb towards Red Tower. Cantaloupe remembering his plasma.
And our tracker reminding us the ice beam actually does put the ceiling item in the next room in logic as well. So, you just see missiles on the morph ball pedestal. What is in the ceiling? Oh, it's a moon pearl!
That's a huge find. That doesn't necessarily rule out the Aga play, but it puts Aga on a lot more of life.
Well, what it does is you no longer need to kill Aghanim to have access to the Dark World. Now you can access most of it if you find a hammer. It also means that our morph ball can be anywhere in the Dark World that isn't logically locked by our progression.
Somebody in chat was saying the morph ball in Misery Mire, that is a possibility. So Pizza making the smart play. Morph ball on green pendant. I love it, Link Force.
Alright, we have Cantaloupe getting their bad news that they have a Master Sword and can chase Aga if they want.
So you have most of the Dark World open to you, but I kind of feel like if this early, I might have gone and checked the Mire shed. It's too quick check. That said, there's certainly a lot of density here. You can do Skull Woods, you can do Village of Outcasts. There's our map check. We've got a 5-6 on Pod, a 5-6 on Thieves Town, and our other pendant is Ice.
And Pizza opting to go straight into the back into Skull Woods here.
So, as Pizza checks and gets a key here, this is a elimination match. The loser of this match goes home. The winner goes on to face Ataka. This is a round 2 match. This is the Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer tournament. Cantaloupe doing that same trick to get the save that Pizza did. Please check out our sponsor, Rank1.global. They were nice enough to do a cash prize for the top 4 folks in this match. It's pretty cool to play a video game and get paid. And give our runners a follow, Pizza34 and Cantaloupe Meme. Or Cantaloupe Beam. I can't pronounce this. Also give my co-commentator Zaruven I messed it up again. Zaru a follow. I can't even pronounce my own name, it's fine.
English is a funny language, you know.
I have a bad habit of just missing letters or adding letters that aren't there. And also, please give a follow to our awesome tracker, Link40. He's one of the best in the business. So far in Skull Woods, I've seen a lot of junk.
Seen a lot of keys. And we can't go to the back without that fire rod, so we're just going to be dipping out here.
The front of Skull Woods is in logic. Without the fire rod, the back is not. I mean, the back is just hard locked. I don't know, maybe you can do some kind of clip or something. It's not allowed in this tournament. We've got just some bombs on the bumper ledge.
It's interesting to see if Cantaloupe's going to make the same call into West Dark World, probably. Would be my guess. But I don't know if he's going to go check Skull Woods in the same order that Pizza did, or if he's going to do what chat was calling for earlier, and just take the dive into Village of Outcasts and maybe Thieves Town.
If he was really a fan of gambles, he could clear Misery Mire for that green pen. 4-heart Master Sword Vidi with no safeties doesn't really sound like a lot of fun to me, but you can do it. Oh, there's that fire rod.
We can put that to bed with the fire rod in the brewery.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Pizza put off doing the back of Skull Woods. Mothua with 4 hearts and the fighters and the Master Sword is also not very. What a maniac! He opened up those chests in a really weird way. Cantaloupe is heading into the Village of Outcasts, it looks like. Does his map check? Ooh.
We see our mirror in the first chest of Thieves Town, and that is going to be very useful later on.
Yeah, so Pizza getting punished a little bit for his routing. Assuming Cantaloupe finds that mirror, they'll be able to do the Graveyard Lens check when they are over in the northeastern part of the Dark World. Northern part of the Dark World? I don't know what it's called. Jeez. He opened up weird chests too. I can't handle this.
You like it when they open chests right next to each other, right?
Yep. This whole different rows thing. I don't even know. Pizza using that mirror after checking the front 4. Did find the small key, so that means it is possible there is an item in the hammer-locked chest. So not having the hammer, it could just be a, this is a pretty common play to just kind of nope out.
You figure you're going to need that hammer to get through most of Swamp Palace anyway, so you can always come back and take care of it later. We're going to do up to the Smith Chain to get this dig game out of the way first.
I'm curious, does chat know what the average number of digs required is?
I don't know, but this one's... there it is. Oh boy.
I was never very good at statistics. Cantaloupe's making the dive into the back of Thieves Town. I mean, I feel like if you're comfortable doing blind with 4 hearts, this is a good play to make. So the odds that you're going to orphan something in that chest are pretty slim.
Yeah, we are going to get the Smith Chain and all of those other awkward on the traversal mirror checks on the way done. Turn in the purple chest. The only thing we can't get in this path is Bombo's tablet, because we don't have a book.
Cantaloupe getting bodied by the Patrick Star a bit. Just a shield on the Smith Chain. No hammer, so no hammer pegs.
Yeah, that's the only other thing we're not going to be able to get here until we see our hammer.
Cantaloupe is still proceeding through Thieves Town with half a heart. This is stressing me out. Hey, 10 sticks in Cave 45. Nobody wants those.
Yeah, I feel like those are going to stay there probably.
Yeah, when pizza started to move up, I thought like he's actually gonna pick those up, but then he wisely decided not.
Now, Cantaloupe has to be a little bit careful here, with only half a heart going into the basement of Thieves Town.
Arrow capacity upgrade on Stumpy.
There is no quick way back down here. You have to go back around the loop and hit the switch again.
Yeah, dying in the bottom of Thieves Town is pretty crap.
Luckily, the Zazacs aren't too much of a problem. You can just grab a heart from one of these pots, so he is going to be A-OK.
Oh, he got 2 heart drops from the Zazax too. That's a charge beam. That's a nice spot. So that's charged plasma for Cantaloupe, which means that his ammo concerns are basically non-existent.
Now, we are going to see Hype Cave here from Pizza, so get ready and chat with your ratings for, 0 to 10. How hype you think this cave is?
Meanwhile, Cantaloupe will be taking on Blind. Looks like he's going to do some Cane strats.
Chat, you kind of want to wait to see what the items are first.
Well, that is not a good start.
That's not a good start.
Jinx! Oh gosh, what price do you put on literacy?
Seeing as we already had access to Desert, I would put a question mark out of 10, because you don't know what items are on the tablets yet.
Which he can go check that Bombos tablet. Oh boy, Cantaloupe's living dangerous.
Oh, taking a laser shot from the eyes, Cantaloupe is going to have to go right back, and the fight is now off script.
Yep, laser beam right in the face. That's no fun. I wouldn't have blamed Cantaloupe if he just left the dungeon and said, I'll come back to you later.
Yeah, it would be a bad call. You're going to be able to come back later to get a few other things done in the area once you find a hammer. Especially if that last item happens to be in the chest, so...
Well, Bombos was thematic, at least. Missiles fell out of this guy. Diagonal runabout, that's the danger when you try to guess what the players are going to do. They never do what you think they're going to do.
I do like this call, though, to go up here to get the ether check out of the way, and then probably go into East Dark Mountain.
He can also do Hera while he's up here. He's got everything he needs for Hera.
Yeah, Hera is a crystal. We'll need to get it done eventually.
And Cantaloupe has no problem taking out Blind that time. I didn't see if he got anything good, but chat saying there is still an item in the big chest in Thieves Town, so that's a bit of a bummer. Hopefully it's not important.
Alright, what does Ether have for us? Oh, it's
wow.
the bow! Alright, so now we give that Hype Cave a bow out of 10.
I'd give that a Hype Cave now. I might give it a 7. The bows are really good find.
Yeah, you absolutely need the bow to finish Pod, because you have to shoot the Igor statue before you can go to the basement. It's also the only way to kill the mimics in Ganon's Tower. So we knew we were going to have to find it eventually. I just wasn't expecting to see it on either tablet.
You can convince the mimics to kill themselves by walking off screen. And I believe that is allowed in this tournament, although I don't think I've seen anybody.
You can always potion glitch the mimics in Pod, too. See, Pizza setting up for a Herapod clip here.
I'm not a huge fan of this when you have the big key. I feel like folks tend to waste more time than they say.
Yeah, mind of me in chat pointing out something that we also saw late last week. If you pick up a ferry, it changes the direction that your bombs will push you in. So there was actually no way to clip into where we wanted to go with that Herapod attempt.
Wow, that's a really bizarre and esoteric thing that totally sounds like a Link to the Past.
Some of the games in that day were held together by hopes and prayers, so, you know.
And here we are, 25 years later, still playing. Almost 30 years later at this point. When did this game come out? 92?
91.
Cantaloupe finds just a key in the annoying Giddo check. Looks like Cantaloupe's gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna go kill Blind," or not Blind. It'd be nice. Would it be nice if Blind was in Mothra's room?
That's one of the better fights for Blind, but also not.
Mind of me saying it's the worst Blind fight, which I feel like that makes sense.
I must be a glutton for punishment then.
Is it worse than Trinex on Ice? Because Trinex on Ice is pretty terrible.
Oh, Trinex on Ice is awful. You see a mention of Helicopter in the chat. If you haven't looked that up, just Google it. It is hilarious.
If you don't really know what we're talking about, we are talking about Randomizer, which is a mode for the Link to the Past randomizer. And there's a thing you can do that will shuffle where the bosses are, so you can have like Mothula in Turtle Rock, for example.
Alright, so Cantaloupe is taking a flame to Moth. With only 4 hearts blue mail, this is actually a little bit more treacherous than it looks.
He really burned through that health, though.
He made it look easy.
Somebody really lit a fire under Cantaloupe's butt to get these bosses dead.
Now, we did see the big key drop from Mothula, so we... knowing there's still another item to find in Skull Woods is not one of the things you want to see.
Yeah, this chest isn't too bad to check, though.
Yeah, this one, you just go get it. It's right there. And you can just mirror right back out.
And I'm actually going to echo what Tracy said. Tracy M said in chat that this is actually a remarkably well-programmed game. And I mean, I definitely think that is a considering all the things we figured out how to do to break it, and it still works. I think that is. I know that I doubt any of the code I've ever written is that.
Unfortunately, we waited in that tile break room for just a green rupee, so Pizza's going to leave Hera empty-handed here. And it looks like they are going to go get our East Dark Mountain play out of the way.
Makes sense. Ice Rod on Laser Bridge, anybody? And we're getting the Super Bunny check here on Pizza. He looks like he's going to hook shot through the block.
We're getting our fun speculative guesses as to where that Ice Rod is going to be. Ice Rod's one of the least fun items to have to go hunting for in the combo randomizer. It can be literally anywhere except on Trinex or in Ganon's Tower.
Yep, and it's worth repeating that we are still looking for that Morph Ball. 50 minutes in, no Morph Ball.
That is, we're looking at a late Morph seed, and that means a lot of our progression can be somewhere. Gonna see our Graveyard Ledge play from Cantaloupe here. And a check of the Medallion on Turtle Rock. And it is Ether, so we can dip in.
super missiles in the first chest in Hookshot Cave. In the second chest we have Bloomerang.
Yeah, chat, if you missed it, Bo was on Ether Tablet.
Pizza debating whether he wants to do Turtle Rock, and he says no. That's fair. I think that would be a pretty gutsy move to dive into Turtle Rock. That said, it could be a situation like Morph Ball and Mimic Cave. Mimic Cave is in Lod. Magic Powder in the Fire Shaft.
And even though we don't have a hammer yet, the magic powder is going to be something we can check, because we have a mirror. We can go right around that stump.
And they both climbed up Red Tower. I saw a question in chat. They both got the Alpha Power Bombs item, which was the Master Sword.
See a shovel in Checkerboard Cave.
And Cantaloupe is just finding all the Fetch quests. Looks like Pizza's gonna go ahead and finish out his Skullwood. He's got a lot more health than Cantaloupe has.
He's done a lot more of the overall traversal checks, whereas we've seen Cantaloupe go in complete 2 dungeons.
It's kind of crazy how much of A Link to the Past they can complete. They can do Desert, they can do Hera. They can do Skullwood on the Thieves Town.
Hey chat, we're gonna get to see our first pet check of, oh boy. See, words are hard. Let's see some hype for the pedestal check.
So I think that's a Super Missiles.
Yeah, that would be a super missile. Pedestal is dead, less than an hour in. Honestly, there wasn't a whole lot that could have been on the pedestal anyway.
I mean, Morph Ball could have been on pedestal. It would have been terrible, but it could have been on pedestal.
Oh yeah, let's not think about how rude the seed could be.
For Pizza was going to make it through the door before the torch went out, but he made it. Pizza's going to be dropping down for his Basua kill, hopefully. Cantaloupe looks like he's... Oh, okay, he's going to go check the screw attack item, which is not in logic.
I don't think you could even look at it. Yeah, there's no way you can actually check it. You need some way of being able to break a bomb wall to do it.
We saw his energy level there. He had, like, I think 7 E-tanks, so that's a lot of E.
I'm gonna entertain chat with a thought for a moment. If Morph Ball's on pedestal, it's basically the game saying, here, play most of this one game, and then you can play this other game to beat the first game.
Yeah, I would say Morph Ball on pedestal makes for a pretty unenjoyable race. Just because it, like you said, it basically makes you do all of A Link to the Past before you can even do any Super Metroid, so there's not a lot of route divergent options.
Yeah, that's the makings of an extremely linear seed that nobody really wants to see. Now, Cantaloupe's going to check and see that if we have a big key in the chest or a small, then we're going to have an open desert to finish here.
What was on the torch? I missed it.
It was a compass. And there's our small key, so the big key is going to be on the right side of desert.
I appreciate your honesty, Archang QC. He's saying in chat that he likes to see the runners suffer. Alright, there's a map in Eastern, so this next has to be the big key.
Yeah, because of the item layout, we can guarantee there is an item on Lamelas, and there's also an item in the big chest. 2 very easy to get things. Is it fair to say that chat always wants to see our runners suffer for their own enjoyment?
Of course, yes.
Oh, that's not very nice.
It's kind of like, I feel like being mad at chat for being trolly is like being mad at the rain for making you wet. Like, it's not the rain's fault it makes you wet. Pro in chat saying suffering builds character.
You know, Morphon Pyramid would just be a poetic place to find it at this point.
They can't get to Pyramid aside from doing Aga, though.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point.
We're gonna finish off Thieves Town.
So we do have an item on Lamellus here on Cantaloupe's screen, so we will get to see that in just a moment.
He's probably feeling a little more comfortable now that he's got more. I got my first ever Zero Cycle land mollusk the other day. I was so proud of myself.
Yeah, having half magic fire rod actually makes this fight a lot easier than it really needs to be. There's your cape.
So Aga, right? The seed is screaming Aga. Do Aga. That said, I don't expect anyone to actually do Aga.
We have to be running out of things we can do, though. Unfortunately, we already saw the bumper cave. It was just a bundle of bombs, so we're probably not going to see our runners pick that up. And Tracy pointing out, yeah, if our runners know it, they can do the Kern jump to fake flipper into East Dark World.
Yep, Cantaloupe's gonna go do those North Dark World checks, the bumper ledge, and I think Graveyard Ledge has not been checked. Or he could be going somewhere else.
I would think he's going to check that powder. No, he's still going. Where are we going, Cantaloupe?
I think he's doing the Smith chain. Has he done the Smith chain?
No, I don't think he has. So he's going to get Big Game and Smith chain, probably the same order the pizza did earlier. And Tracker pointing out, thank you very much, Link40. He does have a shovel, he hasn't checked it either.
I would be surprised. Well, he's going to have a choice to make, because he can check that powder location without the hammer, but it kind of kills your Dark World. So he might make a decision to check that. So many digs. $27 digs to unearth the Ether Medallion.
He's opting to do the overworld checks instead of the Smith chain. I don't think this is really a bad call, because it's going to make your Smith chain a little bit easier to do.
No, yeah, I think this is not a terrible call. Pizza is really, oh, he took a fire face.
Are both of our runners eating a fireball from blind at some point? That's... You hate to see it. Oh, there's a third sword under the shovel's dig spot.
That's a very nice find.
See some of our chat keeping score. Blind 2, runners 1. That's...
That was a nice red cane block there on that second one. 2 easy hits. Oh, and he gets him. Phew!
A little close, but second time around, not so bad. And of course, the bad news that we have an item in the hammerlock chest. It's yet to be determined whether or not we will see them come back.
It's actually a little bit easier and safer to use the Cane of Samaria versus the sword. With the Cane of Samaria, you can just kind of drop it and blind will run into it, and you can focus on avoiding. Cantaloupe's going to take that book straight to the Bombos tablet, which of course you are. Anyway, I think Pizza's gonna do that graveyard ledge check I've been waiting for.
Yeah, we already saw it on Cantaloupe's side, but it's a good check to isolate and get out of the way if you can.
And I'm surprised Cantaloupe decided not to check Bombos, which we know is fine. You won't miss anything. But it's odd to me to not check that while you're there.
He might be thinking of routing it in later if he does go to do the Smith chain.
Yeah, that makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, our tracker is concurring with me there that you can easily just turn in the purple chest and walk on over.
It's not graveyard ledge. So open to us progression-wise. Total Rock?
Well, no, we can't get into Eternal Rock without a hammer.
Oh, you're 100% correct. Of course not.
So we're going to see a current jump from Pizza. Maybe. Just a second late, I think.
Cantaloupe does his ped check.
So the in-logic things that we have that we can check right now, we can go to the first chest in Swamp. We can full clear Misery Mire. And we can do Aga to see what's on the pyramid.
Looks like Pizza's gonna do the Zora checks. He'll be able to check the waterfall, so there might be something back.
Right, so this is not in logic, but the game is going to check. Yeah, we saw a shovel check. It was actually our third sword that Cantaloupe found. Yeah, the game checks to see, once you step back out here, if you have a Moon Pearl. Not sure why, the game kind of assumes at this point you have the Moon Pearl. But we saw it wasn't locking anything progression-wise anyway.
I mean, I think there's a pretty good case to be made that the seed has been screaming at you to do.
Yeah, Mire was accessible real early in this seed.
I'm not a huge fan of trying to figure out what the seed is telling you because it's just random, and so I always kind of figure it's not telling you anything. But in this case, I feel like Mire is a strong place to. Oh yeah, the first chest in Swamp is not available either because they don't have flippers.
Yeah, that's true.
But gotta
I don't know why I thought about it. Is Pizza making the Aga play? It is looking like it.
Croc would not be in logic because they don't have the wave beam, so they can't get through the blue gate. I mean, I expect these runners are able to get through a blue gate without a problem. But you know, there's something to be said for staying in logic.
Yeah, you need either speed or wave to get to Croc, and we can't even get to that part of Upper Norfair yet.
I'm not sure.
I think Pizza just remembered that he has something he can check. Ah. Is this the Meyer play?
I think it's gotta be. Unless he hasn't checked, like, checkerboard cave. I guess he can check checkerboard and do desert.
You might do Meyer Shed, Checkerboard Cave, and Desert, but I would almost take the dive into Meyer here. You have 7 hearts. You have everything you need to finish the dungeon.
Yeah, I think that Meyer is a perfectly reasonable.
It's only 2 items.
I mean,
see him do Desert first.
I actually think doing Aga at this point is not that. It's a gamble. But I don't think that doing Aga is going to lose you the race, but it might win you the race.
I think actually doing Aghanim is probably a pretty wise idea right now, because it does give you all of East Dark World to actually check through.
Right, yeah. I don't think that the Green Pendant requires Eastern Dark World access. You can just walk to Shashrala in the light.
Yeah, it's more the chat is reminding us that Meyer is a green pendant, so it would actually be 3 items if we were to full clear the dungeon.
Okay, Thalfon, we've all been there. Yep, so once again our runners are just doing stuff the other one's done. Pizza's going to be getting his big key here shortly. Now, Cantaloupe's checking Super Bunny Cave, which was nothing special. We know that by and large, this whole East Death Mountain play is a waste of time. Yeah, I feel like, chat's kind of discussing what the options the runners have is. I feel like at this point, it's really between 2 gambles. Do you gamble on Aga and East Dark World access, or do you gamble on Misery Mire and the Green?
There's nothing that says one or the other is the right call until we actually see them do one or the other.
Right, yeah. They're both time-wise pretty similar, right?
There's a case to be made that chat's actually discussing, though, and that's the simple fact is, Meyer's a pendant. Even with those 3 items at large, you don't know if any of them is actually going to be progression. Aga, you have Aga done, you have East Dark World access no matter what.
Yep, and it does make routing some things easier, like the big bomb is much easier to do with Aga X. I guess I'd say that at this point, I think the Meyer players is the bigger game. Pizza's gonna get his animal kill here. We'll see if he can get a 0-7. Not quite.
Alrighty, get our cape and our 4th crystal, so we are now just under an hour and 10 minutes in. Still no morph ball, and 4 crystals down in Link to the Past. So at this point, what is the seed trying to tell us here?
I think it's trying to tell us that it should buy a boat. When in doubt, buy a boat. That's my philosophy. Looks like Pizza's gonna do the Meyer play instead of the Aga play. It's interesting.
Alright, in a few moments here, we'll get to see whether or not this was the right call. All depends on our item layout. I should say our key layout.
What was in Checkerboard Cabling Force? I don't remember. I don't remember it being anything. Oh, shovel, shovel.
It was a shovel, right? So chat's asking about the Kern jump. It is a bomb jump that you hold the bomb when you jump into the river on East Dark World, and the explosion pushes you to the edge of the screen, similar to how you would fake flipper in the light world.
No, getting his 4th crystal. You gotta feel pretty good about an hour 11 and you're already over halfway down the thing to the back. Despite not having that morph ball, you're still probably pretty happy with where you are.
Yeah, the game that's got a lot more to go through, you're already halfway done with your goal, but you have a lot of items that you need to find before you can finish it up. So far, it's been pretty kind as to where a lot of our progression is, but you still need the flippers for sure. And you need that hammer.
Cantaloupe taking his coffee break, which we know is unfortunately not going to get him anything useful.
Yeah, sadly, the pedestal's already been looked at, and it's just a super missile pack today.
Yep, and we're still looking for our first item here in Izumara, I believe. My cat took offense to saying there's no item, that we haven't found any items in Izumara.
Yeah, this Mire layout is not kind if you're actually searching for something. So we see Cantaloupe checking ether tablets, so they have their bow. And the question in chat was, is there an item left on Armos Knights? I don't remember.
I think the answer to that is yes.
There it is!
Link says no.
And the big key chest in Misery Mire has our Morph Ball, an hour and 13 into the seed. Oh my goodness.
Well, it looks like Cantaloupe's going to be doing the Misery Mire play too.
And he's absolutely on the right track. You see, both of the runners know that their options are limited to either Mire or Aga. And the Green Pendant Mire, you don't want to do it. But if you find it and it's here, it is going to save you so much time. I wouldn't call either one of our runners behind or ahead at this point. It's still really early in this, they're in the same dungeon. Cantaloupe's about to find the same item that Pizza just did. So I wouldn't say either of them are behind or ahead. Well, it's pretty neck and neck at this point.
I mean, at this point, they have, I think, almost the entirety of Super Metroid open to them. They're just missing the can fly. So, I mean, so there's a gazillion item locations they can check now.
And Pizza's going to opt to use the Norfair portal that's on Death Mountain. So we're going to be able to see a lot more of this game now with that Morph Ball in hand.
Just in hero capacity at high jump boots. And we'll see where Pizza's gonna head next. Is he gonna go to Boba Mountain? Is he gonna do Crade? He's going for the Ice Beam location.
Yep, this is out of logic until you find a speed booster, but our runners generally know how to do that easy mock ball, so we're not worried about that. And remember, we have plasma beams, so I'm going to turn that on real quick.
I might have turned ice off while I was in the menu, just to save a little bit of time.
You see a bottle?
Ooh.
I think he's going to turn around and grab that. Remember, our first bottle was on... Ooh, nice ice save on the Sova there. Our first bottle was on the library ledge boots lock, so...
Yeah, picking that bottle up is very interesting. Cantaloupe gets his Morphball at 1:16:39. Just a big red rupee at Ice Beam. We'll see if Cantaloupe is going to finish out Misery Mire and get that green pen.
Really nice mock ball getting out of the Ice Beam escape, well, Ice Beam access room, rather. And since most of Bubble Mountain and Upper North Air is still out of logic until we see either a Can Fly, High Jump Boots, or Speed Booster, Pizza's gonna go up, and probably straight right.
Yep, you're here. There's no better time to kill Craig. You're not going to find anything that makes trade any easier.
It's a testament to how easy Crate is. Unless you're me.
Cantaloupe's heading over to check that big chest in Misery Mire. Will he peace out or will he stay? He doesn't have the big key.
I didn't even see where the big key was. Is it right
I think
here?
it's right here.
Ouch.
You can just go back around, Cantaloupe. He could have just jumped off the ledge in that room. I'm not sure why he took the long way, but you know.
I don't think everyone notices that you can. We get a nice quick kill from Pizza. 1 missile, 3 supers, Crate goes right down.
More like Crate who?
Bad news, the last item in Mire is a red rupee.
He's thinking?
And we get to see, is he going to go for video?
Nope.
Probably the wise decision not to.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. You got to think with all the item locate. You know, there's 300 plus item locations. The odds of any one location having your item is pretty slim, and doing all that work for just the green pendant is that's a lot. Cantaloupe saves and resets to the ship. We'll see where he's gonna go. I assume he'll check like Bomb Teresa, whatnot.
It's interesting how our runners decide to go 2 different directions here. Cantaloupe's going to do the classic Brin loop, starting at the top of Criteria and working the way around. Pizza started at the bottom of Red Tower coming from Business Center, so they might even opt to go into Meridia here. They have Power Bomb selected, and here comes the 2 bomb, and there is the Ice Rod.
Well, that's a heck of a find.
So all that Ice Rod Hunt hype can go away now. Interesting to know, we don't have a lot of power bombs yet in this seed either.
Yeah, you really want around 15 for ease of not soft locking. 5 is pretty... Which honestly, that would affect my routing. I like Pizza's route better, just because he needs less power bombs to do the stuff he's... You need a good amount of power bombs to do Brinstar.
Yeah, there's only a couple of places where you can actually farm for power bombs in Brinstar. The missile refill room, the room on the way to Edecoons, and of course the zeros in the waterway check will also drop power bombs if you need them.
With the shield and a heart piece in the back of Gauntlet, probably pretty unlikely anybody's going to get. We've got bombs and an energy tank at Main Street and Crab missiles, respectively.
So we're going to be able to look at this grapple block item at Mama Turtle, but I don't know if we have a way to get to it.
That's a good question. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's just a heart piece.
Yeah. And the swag net.
More power bombs at early supers. That'll be nice for Cantaloupe.
So we are going to see a gravity jump from Pizza.
What? First try, nicely done. Yep, so anything Pizza finds here will be out of logic. Normal mode does not expect you to gravity jump. That said, gravity jumping is a skill you can teach yourself pretty quickly.
See another power bomb pack right before the drop down at Edecoons. That's going to make the rest of the checks around here very comfortable for Cantaloupeme.
Yep. That was a really satisfying freeze on the bugs there on Pizza's side. And at Watering Hole, we have our fourth sword and flippers. Wow.
Flippers and our fourth sword in the Watering Hole. Very good finds. The flippers we know are going to be needed, and that is going to be access to East Dark World out of logic. And our speed booster at the Edecoons Powerbomb location.
So that means that both a probable full clear Meridia and a full clear Brinstar are in both of these runners' books. It doesn't look like either of them are going to get to skip these. Said Pizza if he doesn't know how to snail clip, although I suspect he knows how to snail clip since he's standing at the snail clip.
I would imagine he knows this one.
Cantaloupe's about to check Mission Impossible.
That's a smidge too low on Pizza's side. Still about a pixel or two too low, and that might be too much. There it is.
That was very well done. That was nice and quick. Unfortunately, he's not rewarded by anything good. Cantaloupe checking the wave gate item. This item is of course not in logic, but most of our runners know how to do this with the Super. This is again a trick that you can teach yourself relatively quickly.
We're already seeing the Shacktool emotes in chat here. Shacktool's out of logic until we see a grapple beam. Gravity beam.
And speaking of wave beam,
hey, that should be full combo, right?
Yep, that's charged wave ice plasma. And we do know where the grapple is, and we know that the grapple is actually in logic now. Because Cantaloupe got that speed booster, so he can do Croc and he can get the grapple beam at Croc escape. So looks like we're gonna get a another snail clip here, or not a snail clip, an ice clip.
You know, if that was the first try, I would have loved it.
I've never seen Samus freak out like that. That was funny. And it looks like Pizza says I'm not going to spend my time doing this and opens out. That could be, or no, Pizza's resetting the room. This is a pretty tough trick to pull off. You got to freeze the worm guy in just the right place. And he gets it right away. Wow. He's clearly practiced that. That was nice.
Alright, so we are going to see our Shack Tool item. And the one nice thing about finding the speed booster where we did in Brinstar is it allows us to check this waterway item and get that peace of mind that we know we don't need it.
Yep, and you can also check the Shaft Supers if you decide to go to Blue Bryn. Another item that is often orphaned. Is Cantaloupe not even going to check the Green Hills item first? Huh, that's an interesting. That tells us he's most likely going to come back this way. This is a tricky wall jump to pull off, but he gets it. Shack Tool with just a piece of heart.
Shack Tool hears your love and sends a little bit back, everybody.
I'm pressing F for chat. Now it is worth noting that does reset Pizza no longer has the wave beam, so we'll see if after he checks the sand pit if he goes back. Wave beam's not generally required, but it's a really nice item.
Outside of Plasma, Wave Beam is the single highest damage increase you can get.
And the left sand pit was dropped.
Of course, as we know from the discussion earlier, Charge Wave Plasma is 600, the equivalent to twice a Super Missile. Getting that Wave Beam puts it all the way up to 900.
Billy Mays has super missiles and a red rupee. Wow. Looks like Pizza's gonna head back to Red Brand. Or Wreck Ship. Is he gonna go up the Forgotten Highway? That would be interesting. Yeah, he's definitely doing Forgotten Highway.
Well, no, he's going back up the, gonna go visit our little fish friend here.
That's right. You can,
Did I say Charge Wave Plasma? I did mean Charge Ice Plasma. It's 600 if you don't have Wave, 750 if you don't have Ice, 900 if you have everything. Just short. This is a hard gravity jump to make if you do not have high jump boots. See, if you don't have Plasma, then you're talking about picking up that Spazer that's on Hylia Island.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Pizza do a reset and go back to the ship. That said, he might also head towards Bowl 1.
That's looking like the play back up to criteria. Yep.
Well, that's good. That means we know he'll get his speed booster pretty soon.
Looks like Pizza's going to start out with the gauntlet check here. We didn't see the item in front, as we only saw Cantaloupe go check the two that were in the back. Nothing too special there. And this is still technically out of logic. It would be in logic for Pizza if he found the speed booster. We know that is in Brinstar.
Meanwhile, Cantaloupe is doing his Meridia checks. Just 10 sticks at the middle gauntlet item, so we know gauntlet's a bust.
The grapple item is at Croc Escape.
Cantaloupe getting his swag. Now, man, Pizza just says no to that red shield. Having already killed blind, I guess I can get behind that. The red shield does make blind significantly easier. Pizza heading down to Greenbrand. He's gonna get his, I don't even remember it was in here.
This particular room I don't think had too much. The power bomb pack under the crumble bridge was one of the things. Probably the most value the room had, other than the rupees there. Because their value is exactly as it says on the tin. A nice quick fall to get that power bomb pack by Pizza.
Pizza heading down to Edicoons. He'll have his speed booster. So I'm gonna, use this opportunity while they're checking each other's things that have been checked to remind everybody to please give both of these follows a runner. Give both of these runners a follow. They're doing an amazing job of giving us an exciting race. Definitely enjoying what we've seen so far, and I hope you guys are too. So please hop over their channels, give them a follow. It's free, it's easy, and it'll make them happy. Least you can do. Also, please follow our excellent tracker, Link40 tonight. He is, like I said before, the best in the business, or one of the best in the business. Tracking is a thankless job that, at least I've never tracked. It seems like a thankless job. So please give him some thanks by giving him a follow. And please give my co-com, I'm just, whatever.
We're gonna have to get a high reel of the mispronounces of this.
Anyways, please give him a follow really quick.
I'm also gonna give shoutouts to Jagger G. He said he overslept an alarm, so I gotta say he's a fantastic commentator and also a very good runner. Give him a follow as well. He would be here in my stead. and probably doing a better job.
Link 4 stealing my line with the I'm bad and don't follow me.
I'm gonna steal Siryu's line and be like, I don't stream, don't follow me. I do stream, just never enough. So we're gonna see Cantaloupe check their sand pits. They're going left first. Is there any particular reason why a runner would choose to go left before right?
No. I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. I mean, most of the time, if you have logical access to Shack, you would go straight right and hope not to see something you want to keep, and then just check the Shack tool play. Either you're bolting out or you're resetting, depending on what it was that you found.
Did he check the right sand pit, or did he ignore it?
I think he's going to go right sandpit on the way out.
Which I think is a perfectly acceptable thing to do.
And yeah, to confirm chat, the wave beam was in the right sandpit. My lefts and rights are crossed now.
Well, you know what they always say, don't do directions on Twitch.
Alright, chat and our tracker saying he did check the right sandpit, and he's probably going to grab that wave beam on the way out. He has the information for it. Gonna farm up some brews, yeah?
Can do a little bit of farming here so we can super down Dragon.
Really nice tight speedball for pizza there.
Cantaloupe demonstrating why I find the quicksand in this game to be the worst mechanic ever. God, I don't like it.
The sand in Super Metroid is absolutely the final boss of the game. Believe it, it's actually easier to get out of it if you don't have the gravity suit equipped.
Nothing makes me want to throw my controller at the wall like being stuck in the sand in Super Metroid. Missiles at Precious. Cantaloupe shooting these turrets.
Chat's telling me I'm wrong. You know, I'm allowed to be wrong once in a while. Either way, the sand is literally the worst part of all of Meridia.
I don't know. I think I believe your argument that it's the last one.
They're telling me I'm wrong about the not having gravity equipped making it easier. You know, you can get stuck. You can get stuck both ways, but it's definitely. It's a routing thing to go back down the right sandpit and then go back up to the recharge station to get into East Dark World. It's going to take more time.
There's some checks we haven't seen on Pizza's side. He's going to check Old Mother Brain, and I assume he'll check Shaft Super.
And did we see the last missile too, or no?
I don't think we've seen 230 missiles. Or Omega missiles, if you prefer that. Just $20 at the top of the shaft, that's not worth getting. Cantaloupe has to do a gravity jump to get out of Dragon's area. It gets it first try, nice job.
I don't think there's any way that the Ohms can be any more trolly than they already are. We did see Spring Ball, though, right? So that should be an easy way to get through.
Did we see Spring Ball?
Thought we did.
I missed it if we saw it.
Jack, help me out here. Did we see... Ah, yeah, Spring Ball was at Spore Spawn missiles.
Oh,
So-
nice.
Yeah, so... talking about the Ohms being trolly, I don't think we'll see that. He's actually opting to go down, and as a few of our chat people have suggested, gonna go grab that wave beam on the way out.
Pizza gets his ice rod.
Now, Pizza's going to have to fight Bomb Terizo, because Cantaloupe didn't have bombs when they checked this item, but bombs were in Brinstar.
Yep, that said, Bomb Terizo is a
Just-
complete joke with supers and plasma.
Yeah, at that point you just sneeze at it instead.
Who do we think is winning? I'm still not sure that you can make a call on that. Ooh, silver
see
arrows. But that's a nice find with the bow and still plenty of bosses that are vulnerable to silver's avail.
Yeah, it's really hard to say if we have a clear lead still as we approach the 2-hour mark of this seed.
Yep, please check out our sponsor, Rank1.global. They are doing a cash prize for this tournament, which this is a second round matchup of. The winner of this match advances to face Ataka, the loser goes out. You can look at both of the runners' Rank 1 profiles below their names. Like I said, they did a cash sponsorship, which is pretty awesome. Least you can do is check them out. We'll see if Plasma Beam ends up having anything nice for Cantaloupe. Pizza is going to be doing Dragon, or Argus.
A whole lot of nothing at the Plasma location, just another one of those big 20s.
Yeah, and getting out of here is not without high jump and space jump. Oh, he's got infinite bomb jump. Okay, easy.
Yeah, without high jump boots, this is a very, very tight wall jump. I think it's something close to the lines of double frame perfect. I know I've never done it.
I know that Tracy and Herkokam in the earlier race was discussing whether or not Fantoon is the ghost of Argus because this game takes place in the future compared to Zelda, supposedly. Which I don't know if I buy that argument. I feel like they could take place in any order. It's a big galaxy after all. Super Fire Dog, that's yes.
Cantaloupe, there's a reason this is called Forgotten Highway.
Can you get, without Fantoon dead, can you get through this way?
Yeah, you can enter this way. The ship's turned off. I don't think the item in E-Tank spawns. But you can get here. So I used to go through this way vanilla all the time when I was a kid. Now, I don't even remember how to get through Crab Maze the intended way. So Pizza took care of their ghosts. They're going to check all the items here in Wreck Ship. It's that one time where one of the worker robots actually gets you with a beam shot. What?
They shoot?
Yeah.
Didn't even know they shoot.
Oh,
Ooh,
there's
a
our mush.
And our runners are going to converge shortly here.
We're going to see a rare high five in 2 different ship states here.
Did Cantaloupe pick up that wave beam?
Yeah, they picked up the wave beam, then went up to check plasma, and then decided to go Forgotten Highway.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to be sure. Just 50 bucks.
Rupees.
Yep, it's important to remember that spikes do no damage when there's no power. So if you happen to come across a spiky room of death in the real world, just remember, make sure the power's off, you'll be...
So far, really not a lot of anything important in Wreck Ship. We have a mushroom and a bunch of cash. Still a few checks we can make, though.
Yep, that mushroom is going to be TBD on whether it's anything. That was a very nice shine spark on Pizza's part there.
Super clean attic, clean out. Just remembering to get that door before he turns around, because if you don't, you're going to have to kill everything in here all over again.
Oh my gosh, it's statues, or it's robots on top of each other. Meanwhile, we're getting some Cantaloupe DLC on the right side of the screen. You can see that old Fantoon is enraged. That happens.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that happens when you shoot a super missile at Fantoon and he doesn't die from it.
Double-edged sword of Fantoon, he takes double damage from supers. He doesn't have a lot of health, but if you do launch a super into him, he's going to launch a lot of fire down at you.
Heart container, missiles in the sky. That was some very nice movement in that section there from Pizza. Very nice short charge too.
I don't think I've ever seen someone short charge there. That tight is really nice. Makes this room quite a bit faster, and I believe actually might have been roughly the same in terms of energy.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think about. Do you save energy doing that, or do you lose energy? I feel like with both suits, you're probably losing more to the Shine Spark. And nothing down here, so Pizza's going to say no thank you. We know that the reserve item was just a heart container. And a reserve.
Oh no. And folks, that's why I like to call it sometimes the Get Wrecked ship.
I can get behind that. Yep, so the wreck ship was a complete bust aside from that mushroom. And that doesn't feel good because the mushroom is almost certainly not. Or it could be the hammer. You never know.
Yeah, it's very possible we could see a hammer in its native dungeon, just not in the spot that you usually find it.
Well, it could be in the big chest too, I think.
Yeah, that would be very vanilla.
If he's going to stay in A Link to the Past and check out Pod, or whether he is going to head to North.
Here's your Lower Norfair play.
This makes perfect sense. You can clear essentially Norfair back. Looks like he is going to remember to do that checkerboard cave while he's here. That's good. That means if he so decides, he'll get his Butter Sword. Butter Sword effectively, my understanding is, saves 0 time on Ganon, so not a big deal if he never checks that shot. Powder has not been checked yet.
Yeah, where you might see the Butter Sword come a little bit more in handy is on, say, your Cold Stare or your Trinex fights. Probably not going to see Cold Stare. We know the pet is dead and Ice Palace is a pendant. But it's going to be 1 cycle on each of Trinex's sets. The silver arrows were at the power bombs above the landing site. So it stands to reason Cantaloupeme might still check that location.
Pizza demonstrating that Gold Frieza is stupid. 5 bomb capacity, not what he was looking for.
Yeah, not seeing anything really important here in the Gold Teresa room either.
That was just some rupees on the screw attack. We'll see if Pizza's gonna spend some time farming up some power or super missiles here. Looks like the answer's no.
Well, he did get 5 out of 6 on that first bomb. You're above 30, that's about all you need.
Yep. Ridley, of course, will die to 30 super missiles. I love sparking through the pillars. Pizza going through the worst room in the game, named because it is the worst room in the game. That said, with ice, you got it. You can freeze the pirate and use him to jump off. He also could IBJ, or you can just plain do this as a wall jump. I think you can do it without high jump, although it's great.
Yeah, it's just similar to that Norfair Reserve or the Plasma Beam get around wall jump, where it is very, very tight. It looks like he's set for the spring ball jump here.
I think he accidentally... Ooh, that was well done. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a spring ball jump. Apparently, if you jump the spring ball off and then turn it on, the game gets confused and you can do a second. Just some missiles and Mickey Mouse.
Alright, so the great hammer hunt continues here.
Yeah, with every check, it's becoming increasingly likely that we're looking at a vanilla hammer.
There's one spot that's potentially worse that it could still be at. The first check in Swamp. And I've seen it there, and that is not very nice.
Yep, that is definitely in logic now.
And reminding us, we still have a green pendant that we can go get and turn in for a potential hammer.
Yeah, there's a lot of really bad places that the hammer could be.
So let's all hope it doesn't turn into one of those bad places. And actually, another suggestion.
Things have kind of dried up in the last 45 minutes of this seed. I mean, we got Norfair, or we got our Morph Ball, and we've done a lot of checks, but we've really not got anything particularly good, aside from that Ice Beam, or Ice Rod, rather, sorry.
We've already seen Graveyard Ledge, we've already seen both tablets. Actually, Bo was on Ether Tablet for this seed. And yeah, Tracy pointing out in chat, it could be a hammerless pendant ice is almost as bad as the green pendant.
Pizza getting a nice Shine Sparks kill on the Metal Pirates. Cantaloupe checking his shaft. See where Cantaloupe decides to head back. Pizza's gonna go into Ridley with 2 energy tanks. That's probably fine.
He's feeling really good about his Ridley fight if he's going in this low, and you gotta just watch this. This is gonna be really good.
Ridley's having a nice pogo. And I think Ridley's dead. So that was a 0-hit Ridley. Very well done, Pizza. As we're getting the mushroom.
If that's not a reason to follow our runners, I don't know of another one.
Mushroom was the single arrow of destiny.
And Ridley just sitting on a pack of missiles. Still a few checks down here we can have a look at.
Cantaloupe gonna get his waterfall fairy of disappointment. Looks like Pizza's gonna farm up a few more super.
Yeah, now he has crystal flash ammo if he actually needs to on the way out here. He won't when he shoots this one off.
Gets through those. I want to say those are called the dongos, but don't quote me on them.
The dead rocks?
No, the thing on the left side.
Oh.
The things outside Power
The Desquigas.
Tuskegee, dang it, I was so close.
Right letters, wrong game.
Yeah, after I said it, I was like, wait, I think that's a super link to the past.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy's not open because we need a hammer to complete pod, and that means the hammer can't be there.
Well, to be clear, the hammer
pod.
can definitely be in pod. There's our third shield.
Yeah, we do. What am I talking about? I'm going back and forth with myself here.
Hammer can be in pod, but the hammer cannot be in Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, hammer can be in pod, can't be on Pyramid Fairy, it can't be on Helma King because you need the hammer to access it. Lumberjack Ledge was just a red rupee, and the Bumper Ledge was just a pack of bombs, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what my memory says. I mean, even if the store Norfair and the Norfair play ends up being a bust for pizza, you still feel pretty good about it because you can't route this really anybody. Cantaloupe looks like he's going to be showing us the Parade DLC. Pizza's playing it safe here with the Three Musketeers.
Get the reverse deboost off that last Red Key Hunter. That's always good to see. So now we're talking about Bubble Mountain.
Yeah, this is a good density, high density area that Pizza's going to be able to. Well, that's a handy place to find an energy tank. And while Cantaloupe is taking down Grade.
So we know it's not in the wave beam location. Starting to see our first mentions of betting on Croc in the chat.
I'm trying to think. At this point, I think it's Hammer Go mode, isn't it?
Yeah, Hammer, I think, is our true... Well, we don't know if we need boots or not.
Right, of course.
The
There's always the
key
1 in
could
20.
be on the torch. But outside of that, yeah, Hammer is very well potentially our go mode here. Or as we like to say, Schrodinger's go mode.
It is both Go mode and not Go mode. Very nice freeze on that waiver there.
We haven't seen Sick Kid yet either, have we?
Nope. The only bottle we have is was out of Logic at the time of getting it. That said, I think it's in Logic.
Yeah, Logic with the speed booster, and we see Cantaloupe's actually going back to get that bottle in Crumble Tower.
He thought about not getting that heart, but thinks better of it. So we should be seeing, I assume Cantaloupe will go down and do Croc here.
I will point out, I am one of those people that likes to jokingly say Logic is a suggestion, but there's another bottle. You gotta keep an eye on what's going on, what the seed's trying to tell you, regardless of whether or not you actually follow what the logic is saying.
So poor Fantoon doesn't know what to do if you shoot him with the charge wave plasma, or the charge plasma.
Fantoon?
Did I say Fantoon? Crack. Wow, my brain is really just not working.
I think he has 7 too many eyes to be Fantoon. Still as red as when you beat him, though.
Well, you know, quarantine hasn't treated Fantoon well. He hasn't been able.
Bundle of sticks behind Crocodile.
Fantoon hasn't been able to get out and go to the salon, so he's feeling pretty rough. You know, it's always interesting to me just how things in these randomizers end up coming back and looping in together. Like, here we are, 2 hours into this match, and they're both fighting Crocodile essentially at the same time.
Sorry, I just can't take my my eyes off Pizza's screen, as he was moonwalking with Crocomire, but the legs were not moving on Samus's sprite. So she's just sliding backwards the whole way. Nice! Using that stored shine spark in the spike suit to come over here and find a heart container. And Pizza just going straight down to whip across to the speed booster locked grapple beam item, in vanilla anyway.
Cantaloupe, check in. That's a blue cane at Indiana Jones. I guess with the cape and half magic, you don't really need to pick that.
Yeah, now that we both beaten up blind already, the only thing that does is just redundant what the cape already does for us for Spike Cave. Pizza might still grab it. And he does. Alright, so I believe that means we've seen pretty much everything out of Super Metroid?
Yeah, I can't think of anything we haven't seen.
And our tracker is making sure that I am with it here. Our last location in Super Metroid is the X-ray item.
Which is not in logic yet. I say yet because they both should be getting grapple on their way. Or not.
What is most certainly in logic, all we have to do is a well-placed bomb jump here.
I feel like Pizza is a little bit far away.
Yeah, he'll just need to get a little bit of extra vertical distance before he takes the... Nope, never mind.
This is why he's in the tournament and I'm not.
I can second that sentiment.
Meanwhile, Cantaloupeme is going to be heading over to Bubble Mountain.
That's actually a good question. Did we see the cathedral item? I do not remember either of them taking the upper road.
I actually think the answer is no to that, Link Force. Yeah, I don't think we think
that's an interesting spot to orphan there.
Chat's saying that Pizza did check Cathedral, but they don't remember.
So the last sword that Pizza does not have is on the shovel spot. Cantaloupeme checked that a lot earlier. We've had a shovel for quite a while. Of course, we also saw the mushroom was nothing.
Pizza heading to Batsmoon. Cantaloupe bonking his head.
So his chat's continuing to ask us whether or not some of our runners have checked certain locations. We haven't seen any of East Darkworld because we don't have the hammer. Right now, we're assuming that our logical access would be with the flippers, either through Meridia or from west. But neither of them have pathed that in yet. So we still have Pyramid, Catfish, and all of Pod to look at. I am gonna laugh if that hammer's on the pyramid ledge.
I was just thinking that.
Or something like boots, to make them check a couple things to find it. Also, think about how much faster the seed would be if we had boots early.
Pizza heading into his Dragon fight.
He has the grapple beam, whereas Cantaloupeme earlier had to do a good old-fashioned ammo kill, so this is going to be very, very easy. It's also setting up for just Shine Sparks, which is a classic any percent strat. Just a little short there, but one more shot does it, and there is Dragon. That is all 4 bosses down for Pizza in Super Metroid. Yeah, there's one problem with that. We've already seen the Shack Tool item, and it was a piece of heart.
Cantaloupe just missing that Shine Spark. So Pizza's gonna save here before he checks Plasma, and I like this play a lot. Because you can just reset out when you find out the Plasma's.
Alright, so Cantaloupeme is making their lower North fair play. And our tracker echoing the same sentiment that I had earlier. If the hammer is on Green Pendant, it'd probably be one of the funniest things ever. Or the Pyramid Ledge. Those are the 2 places that I think would be possibly ironic.
Yeah, Green Pendant Hammer would be pretty hilarious. That said, the weird thing is, aside from the double dip, I don't actually think that would be that slow. Like, in some ways, I feel like you're kind of like, oh, I have my hammer for go mode, and you can't really do swamp. Not having that hammer limits so much what you can do in A Link in the Past that I kind of feel like, oh, if you do find it, you're like, oh, this was. You'd much rather a hammer go mode than say ice rod go mode. Is what I'm trying and very poorly attempting.
Well, we haven't seen our runners do the powder check yet at Magic Bat. Now they can do that with the mirror from the Dark World. So it is in logic. Or is it not in logic?
Pretty sure it's in logic.
Yeah.
And Pizza took advantage of that save and just reset out. We'll see if he picks up his wave. He is not going to go get that wave beam, which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, we saw the mushroom. It was just an arrow of destiny.
So this should be the pod play from Pizza for Pyramid and the Northern Dark World checks. Catfish.
I'm assuming it's going to be Catfish, then Pyramid Ledge, then probably a dip into Pod.
Yeah, and I'll probably turn in the mushroom there quick while he's here.
Yeah, got the mirror out, might as well.
Doing a nice bonk strategy there to make the mushroom thing. You just have to finish, or rather, transition the screen. You get the mushroom turned into finish completing, and bonking like that with the mirror is a quick and fast way to make that happen.
Alrighty, we're getting a look at what Quakefish is holding out on us.
Quakefish often holding progression today, just in Super Missile.
Ah, he's taking lessons from Zora. Except he decided to be an arms dealer.
Wait, he has arms?
Can you be an arms dealer if you don't have arms?
That's what I'm asking.
I do want to point out, chat, that I have orphaned, for example, a bow on Catfish. Don't do that.
I gotta say, I really like Pizza's routing here. Like, that was super smart to take that whirlpool and do those north checks and then come back. Very clean route.
Yeah, I think it's important just to remember here, it's rando. If an item can be somewhere, chances are it might be. Put that in your book of quotes.
Yep, 0.3% of the time. It's every time.
So, this has been itching me for quite a while. I want to see what's on this pyramid. It's just a red rupee.
Nothing.
And that leaves the X-ray location, the first chest in swamp, the green pendant, and pod.
Yep, and pod's the obvious
And-
choice. There's more checks in pod, and you can do everything except for beat Helmasaur.
Yeah, and the tracker reminded me we also have the powder that we've been talking about, and the sick kid. We've had a bottle and access and knowledge of bottles for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, those are two really quick checks to make with the flutes.
Probably the nicest thing about this check is that double dipping pod isn't quite as bad as double dipping something such as, say, Turtle Rock.
Instead of sick kid, I read psychic. And I was like, there's a psychic in the game?
Alright, information purely inconsequential to this race. That key on the left side shooter room item means that this dungeon was open if you didn't have a bow. The right side would be logically bow locked.
Cantaloupe making his way out of Norfair. I'm gonna step away and use the little girl's room. I'll be back in just a minute.
Alright, two checks up here. We're probably going to see a couple of keys, and our tracker letting us know pod was bow locked because these two keys on the right side are how you would access the rest of the dungeon. Of course, you're guaranteed to see at least 4 keys in your front 6, or else you're not going to be able to do much. Alright, sees that note take, it says, I don't want it. There's another key.
So we have not found the meter or the hammer yet, I see.
Oh, we've got 3 keys and 2 reserve tanks out of pod so far. Alright, that does tell us, by the way, with all 3 keys in hand, that that middle big key chest is a key for a key. We won't be seeing that. Oof.
Man, this is the Palace of Disappointment. Disappointed!
You know, I was wondering if anyone would ever make that reference. Right, that leaves an item on Helmasaur King locked behind the hammer.
I feel like making that reference just shows how old I am, since the kids these days even know about Hercules.
Do they know about who Kevin Sorbo is?
That's a good question. Alright, pizza, come on, sit kid.
He's
Sit
thinking
kid.
about it. Oh, he's went back. You know what he realized? He hasn't seen X-Ray, and he has picked up the grapple beam.
Yep, but still, I'm a little worried now that he forgot about the sit kid check, because he was right.
Has he not? Our tracker's saying he didn't do the top of Red Tower yet.
I'm actually not sure that we've not seen the top of Red Tower now that I think about it.
So the sick kid gives Cantaloupe a bundle of blueberries, to which he plucks one off and says, "Here, you can have one." Alright, one of our two runners are going to find their hammer in the next few checks, probably. And if not, then oh. If not, this is a bad feeling.
It does look like, oh, I was about to say, it looks like Pizza's on his way to X-Ray, but he's going to check the back of Alpha Pep. Oh no, he got eaten by the Samus Eater. Little known fact that Samus Eaters literally only subsist by eating sap. They will not eat or anything.
The magic bat has cursed us with a circle of protection. Alright, so the sick kid magic bat play has been checked. We have seen the checks at the top of Red Tower. We have X-ray scope coming up on Pizza's side.
And I think this has to be it. It doesn't necessarily have to be Hammer, but I think this has to be our progression.
I mean, it could very well be the Pegasus boots. I think that's the only other progression locking item we have.
And we have...
Is this even randomized? Is that an X-ray scope at the X-ray location?
That's pointing out we do still have the green pendant, and I think that it has to be the green.
Alright, Pizza, where are you going?
Oh, yep, chat's saying Ice Palace. Ice Palace is almost certainly going to be checked before the green pendant.
Yeah, if you've seen everything out of Eastern, and you've already been into Mire, and you know all you have left is Vitreous, you're taking an Ice Palace play here. Pizza's going to follow what Cantaloupe's already done and get the bottle and bat checks out of the way.
Oh, yep, also that one chest in Swamp Palace that can be checked. Which I would expect to see Pizza do that before he heads into Ice Palace.
Yeah, we have seen everything that there is to see in Super Metroid between our two runners, and I'm pretty sure they've checked most of it themselves. Now, Cantaloupe did not check the X-ray location. They will be sorely disappointed if they do. Yeah, Cathedral was unfortunately just a missile pack. Pizza also getting their Circle of Protection curse from the Magic Bet.
I curse you with fashion!
A fashion curse. You know what it is? It's the hat. That hat's gotta go.
And that it was a curse of a fashion.
Alright, so Cantaloupe's gonna get their dip into pod here, and Pizza is headed... Pizza's about to get their gold sword.
Yep, probably gonna be a little disappointed that that's what it is. Let's see where Pizza's gonna head. Swamp Palace?
Is he? Is he gonna gamble that first chest in Swamp? If that's there...
With the checks he has left, I think this is the most sensible one. I've seen the first chest pay off actually quite a few times, and I mean, I think this check just makes the most sense because if it is the hammer, you're in go mode, you don't need to double dip, and if it isn't, oh well, it didn't take too. Cantaloupe making his way through Palace of I was gonna say Palace of Discord.
Palace of Disappointment.
Yeah, Palace of Disappointment.
Right, we already knew that one had to be a key. It's this one behind the bomb wall on top that's going to give us all we need to know.
Well, not all we need to know. It might
Just
give
most.
us all. Alright, Ice Palace or Green Pendant. What's it gonna be, Pizza?
I think it's too early to say no meme. We could still very well see it on the green pendant. But you have to do Ice Palace first, right?
I think so. Although, I mean, you do already have the big key, so getting to Viddy and with silver arrows, not that long of a... Cantaloupe's gonna be heading into his back room of disappointment.
We keep getting the check. What is left in Super Metroid? Nothing. Nada. We have seen it all. All 100 locations. get a nice hammer jump on Cantaloupe's side. That's going to allow them to sit key.
A very hard trick to pull off. Well, not very hard. It's a neat trick to pull off. I'm just going to say I have no idea how to do it. Now, actually, so Chad's talking about how these runners feel. What do you think, Zaru? Do you think they feel ahead?
Well, I feel like if you're in their position right now, you're going through absolutely everything, and you're thinking, did my opponent already do this? The entire way through, we've been go mode -1 for probably close to an hour now. They're both way behind in their head. Just keep in mind, when you find that hammer, you still have 2 full dungeons to complete.
I think it's good. I think, honestly, at this point, I don't know if I was running this that I'd feel that behind. Now, if the hammer turns out to be on the green pendant, then I would definitely feel like, wow, my opponent's going to be finishing any second.
It's opting to not do the icebreaker.
Cantaloupe showing his displeasure with bomb.
When you pick up those bomb capacity upgrades, it leaves you that much more room to show the seed your disappointment. No, icebreaker is not part of logic. It is purely a movement technique that makes this dungeon that much faster.
Looks like Cantaloupe's going to be heading into ice too. Maybe? Hobo.
Yeah, but as we stated earlier, Hobo doesn't have anything for us here. Yeah, we've known about Icebreaker for a while, but it was finally legalized, I think it was back in March. Yeah, for Rando anyway. It's not legal in vanilla, no major glitches. Alright, so we're going to be able to go right down and get the big chest item.
And we win just missiles from that.
Chat's reminded me of one of the greatest game show bloopers of all time. All because someone said, February? That was a good season. And there is the hammer!
The hammer in the hammer-shaped room.
Alright, that means at 2 hours, 39.5 minutes, Pizza has entered Go Mode. Or should we say, Schrodinger's Go Mode. We do not know whether or not that GT Big Key is going to be on Bob's torch or not. What we do know is, we can clear all the dungeons with that hammer.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty good finish. I would think these runners are probably, depending on Ganon's tower routing. I could see Cantaloupe taking the. They, of course, have, I mean, I guess they could find high jump boots would be nice for a baby skip, if either of them no baby.
Oh, and Cantaloupe not realizing that they cannot advance through that hookshot locked room on the right side using the icebreaker. So they have to mirror back to the front of the dungeon.
That's going to cost them quite a bit of time. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, without a key, you cannot go left from that area. So in other words, the icebreaker actually hurts here. And that's going to put Cantaloupe, who was already possibly just a couple minutes behind, a few minutes more.
Yeah, that's time that he can't afford to lose.
No, Ice Palace is our red pendant, as if the color actually mattered.
Just a reminder that you're watching the Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Tournament. This is a round 2 of the playoffs match. The winner of this match goes on to face, I forgot already, Hataka. And the loser goes home. There is no second chances in this tournament, so they're playing for all the marbles. These runners have put on a really good show on a seed that really hasn't been that nice. Hasn't been super mean, but it also hasn't been super nice. Please give them a follow. You can see their channels linked in the chat. Also linked in the chat is their links to our sponsor, Rank1.global. They're doing a cash prize for the top 4 runners in this tournament, so please check out the Rank1.global site. It's a pretty cool thing. It's social media for gamers. Please follow our tracker, LinkForce0. He's done an awesome job tonight, as always. And please follow my co-commentator, Zaru Yen, who I pronounce differently every time I say it.
Hey, I'm just a substitute. It's like when a substitute teacher mispronounces your name in class.
I blame my trouble reading on, I was taught phonics when I was in elementary school. Never teach a kid phonics.
Oh, I remember having a phonics book in 3rd grade, and I was like, what is this thing? I thought we were learning English.
Yeah, Hooked on Phonics ruined my life. It wasn't actually Hooked on Phonics, this is what my elementary school taught.
So we didn't talk about it. Pizza was attempting to do a strat called the diver down with the red cane. Basically, you can rail clip and it will put you in a layer that makes it look like you're walking underneath the water. You can save some time with it if you get it. If not, you actually end up losing time trying to set it up. It's a little bit of a 50-50 thing.
Meanwhile, Fantoon has lost all of his puffs and has just lost his life. So that takes us to 1 dungeon left for Pizza.
2. Still has to finish out Pod 2.
Oh, yep, good catch.
And Cantaloupe getting their hammer is... There it is. And Cantaloupe is not the first or the last person that's going to meme out of this tournament, so absolutely give them a follow and give them your thanks. They're a lot funnier than we are.
And we apologize to our YouTube viewers for the copyright strike.
I don't think that's something that's on our mind right now.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Cantaloupe, you're really hoping that the boots are required, and the boots are somewhere terrible, like Green Pen. It's going to be tough for Cantaloupe to close this gap. There's a Swamp Palace go mode difference between them at the moment, and that's not an insurmountable lead, but it's a pretty big lead. If the big key was on the torch and Tylerum had the boots, that is almost certainly gonna take both of them the same amount of time. Oh no, Pizza lost key.
Did he run into the same one that I always do, right there before the... Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he ran into the bouncing cabbage.
This one right here. This one gets me every time.
Press F in chat to pay respects to Kiki. Yes, Jay Coper, this is a single elimination tournament. From now until the finals. The finals are a best of 3, I believe. Miss Metroid or Tracy can clear that up if I'm...
Yeah, just as a reminder, after this race at 10:10, we are going to have the last round of 48 matchup between Super Nintailer and Dragon Darge. That is right here on SpeedGaming Prime, so do not miss that.
I don't know, Metroid MST. Miss Metroid's pretty awesome. I mean, you seem like a good guy, but are you Miss Metroid's level of awesome? I don't know about that.
Hey, I try not to compare our fantastic community. They're all pretty good.
That's fair. Yes, if you're new and you're interested in this, please join the Discord. Everyone is super friendly, and it's a really nice community to be a part of. And again, this has been a pretty exciting race to watch, so I hope everyone
Alright. That was just another one of those times where Twitch is being Twitch. Nothing to be too concerned about.
I wasn't sure if it was my internet having issues or the stream, but I think we're all back now. If you are having trouble seeing the stream, I recommend refreshing the page. Cantaloupe's taking on his Phantom Gill fight.
And just a couple spins will do it with that gold sword, and that means we have a Swamp Palace down for Cantaloupe. They'll be joining Pizza and Pod in just a moment.
Pizza having some trouble hitting the switch with the blow. Well, sometimes Pod's the video freezes, but the audio still works, at least for me. So that's not completely useless advice. I mean, it's not great advice, I understand, but...
But do you know what it is, though? It's a nickel's worth of free advice.
There you go.
Of course, that nickel is nowhere near the quarter we were talking about earlier.
No, of course not. And Pizza's going to be taking on his Helmasaur with, he's holding that sword out to extend the hammer hitbox. No idea why that works, but it does.
Alright, Pizza taking down Helmasaur King. See what he's got for us. It could still be Boots. This is the wrong kind of Boots.
Space jump. That is not, you know, would have been nice hours ago. Not very useful at this point in their life.
Now it's just up to Turtle Rock. You know, it's you know, dead rocks. Yeah, they do that all the time. Yeah, the space jump doesn't really do much for us here. It's going to make some of the vertical movement a little bit easier, but you don't need that in Turian to that degree.
Yeah, Turian's pretty straightforward. I think our runners would be happy to see either of the boots, but that's about. And the reason Helmosaur explodes from his tail to his head is actually a defense mechanism that Helmosaurs evolved. That way, if something eats the Helmosaur, they get blown up because they ingest it before it fully explodes.
See, when you get to a number like 0.3, you're talking about seconds per frame.
I remember when Twitch used to be Justin.tv, and I was like, who is Justin?
Oh, don't you dare mention Highlight. Yes, you can Zeb skip without space. All you really need to do is freeze the Rinka that spawns underneath the Zebetite, get hit by something, spin jump really short so you end up being placed on top of that Zebetite, the Rinka by collision, and then using your iframes you can jump right through the Zebetite.
First chest is a small key.
And you don't see that very often. You've got pizza falling off of the platform. You don't need space jump to be able to do that kind of maneuver. What you want to do is you want to turn off screw attack if you have it. There's also a down back. There's also a method that you can do on the second one for the with the morph ball. I don't know that one at all. I've only seen it once.
I think Cantaloupe has actually made up a little bit of time here. Do you check Mimic Cave in case it's the boots, in case Canada's Tower is boots locked?
You know, I'm not sure if you do. Because at this point in the game, we're almost 3 hours in. We full cleared Super Metroid. We know where any of our items are left in Link to the Past. There's not a lot to check, so if you don't, it'd be a... Oh, there's the Dead Rocks again! There isn't a high density of checks that you can make if boots happen to be required in this seed. So it would be a gamble, and if it's not there, it's whatever. If it's not required, it's whatever. It'll be a completely different talk if we end up not needing them and then finding them, as opposed to not finding them but needing them.
I saw something red there, and I was like, oh, never mind, but it was just a red rupee. Cantaloupe entering Turtle Rock.
Because there's not a lot of time you can really save doing Turtle Rock because of how linear of a dungeon it is.
Yep, the big question is, do you get to skip Laser Bridge, and if you do you?
Chad pointing out... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Yeah, chat pointing out something interesting. Pizza decided not to steal the key, which means he might still be looking for boots.
Yeah, I think we'll have a good idea of his mindset here if he decides to do that mimic cave. No mimic cave.
Yeah, the big key has to be before that, either on that chest or before it, because otherwise it wouldn't be able to get this door.
Yeah, and he got the big key in the roller room with 2 chests, I think. Or is it the chain chomp room? It was one of those rooms.
Chat said it was in the chain chomp room. Yeah, he has the big key, or he wouldn't be able to get back here. The last place that it can be in the dungeon would be the vanilla location. A lava chest. Alright, so we do need one small key to keep going here because he did not steal the key in the middle. So we are going to be checking the 4 chests on Laser Bridge. Well, some of the chests on Laser Bridge. And there's our key.
And Pizza says, that's good enough for me. Bye. Interesting that Cantaloupeme is also going to check that metal chest.
Just a little bit ahead of yourself there. You are going to want that ice rod, just not that fast.
Yeah, Pizza probably feels that he's probably looking at the chat and wondering why hasn't my opponent got done. Try an X, very easy with the butter sword.
And down goes Trinex, and that means Pizza 34 is going to have 7 crystals.
Troy, it's time to get your guesses in chat for where the big key in Ganon's Tower will be. 1 to 22. I expect a lot of 3s.
And I like to ask a lot of my co-commentators this one. Do you have a number you like to guess in our big key guessing game, Eleanor?
Yep, I always guess 23.
Well, this isn't Key Sanity, so... I personally like to go all over the place, but I usually try to settle around 16 or 17.
I'm kind of disappointed at the number of 3s in chat. I thought there'd be more.
Chat is just begging for the seed to be that rude, to put the big key on Bob's torch.
Cantaloupe's taking the scenic route around the platform maze. And a bottle. And missiles. So full left, at least somewhat left. Alright, chat. Here we go. Here,
Alright, our runners are saved.
cries of disappointment in chat.
Alright, next up we have what we call the DM's room for the Dark Magician strats. It's 3 Stalfos room, has 4 checks in it. 4 through 7, let's go. What do we got coming? And we've just got a couple keys and a Quake Medallion.
Meanwhile, Cantaloupe has taken down Trinex, or is about to take down Trinex rather on his side. There he goes. Unfortunately, with the there not being a key in the Hope Room, it's going to be difficult for Cantaloupe to make up any time here. If he did Dark Magician strats and it was on the right side, that could make a big difference, but I don't know if Cantaloupe is the Dark Magician type.
Alright, coming up next is check number, I believe, 9 in our Lava Snake room. It is another key.
Pizza heading into Rando room as Cantaloupe heads into GT. And nothing in Rando room. Cantaloupe gets his bottle and missile back.
Gonna have a look at what's in Bob's chest. Bob, of course, being the antique fairy that has a rather peculiar look to him.
Pizza doing the bomb jump over the gap there. Picking up a fairy for his bottle, that's a smart decision.
Oh boy. Yeah, let's get some Fs in chat for Bob, because that graphical glitch does not appear in SMZ3. That's something you will see a little bit more in the link to the past randomizer stuff.
I was really hoping Cantaloupe was going to mirror. I thought it unlikely, but I was hoping.
Three checks behind Ice Armos. What do we got?
100 rupees! Missiles!
Oh, it's on the right side. So that gamble could have paid off for Cantaloupe, but he didn't take it.
Cantaloupe could have taken the lead.
And if anyone gets 22, you're feeling pretty good, because you only have 4 other checks besides this tile room.
Oh no! Pizza got grabbed by the Wallmaster. That's time he can't afford to lose.
You know, in Skullwoods, you might think the Wallmasters are a little handy to help you get around. In Ganon's Tower, I'm not even going to finish that.
Let's see. There's only these 2 rooms in Ganon's Tower with Wallmasters, isn't there? Is there another room that I'm forgetting?
I actually do not think there is.
Pizza getting bodied by these Gibdos. And
Luckily, we have red mail, so the Gibdos don't hurt anywhere near as much as they would.
20 rupees, the compass, super missiles, and is it tile room?
It is tile room! Oh no. Whoever guessed 22 in chat, congratulations, you win a lifetime supply of SMZ3 rando seeds. Available only at samus.link.
The first guest 22 I believe I see is Mike Vanguard. Congratulations.
Now, this is not a good thing for Cantaloupe because they may not take this gamble to do tile room before getting the other 4 checks on the right-hand side. So there is no time to be saved here.
Yep, if you're a fan of Cantaloupe, send him Psychic Energy to do tile room.
See, it's one of those things I like to say, it's never tile room until it's tile room.
Yep, and I mean Cantaloupe making what I think is probably the quote-unquote right choice to not do tile room. You know, 97% of the time that's the right decision. It just happens to not be the right decision this particular time.
So we're going to watch Pizza go up the tower here, and he's not going to have a hard time doing so. We've got red mail, 13 hearts, silver arrows, gold sword. See, chat is discussing whether or not one player or the other has an edge in their respective games. I do know Pizza from the Super Metroid categories, and he's pretty good. He's got to watch out for whether or not he can get little time saves like Baby Skip and Stand Up. I don't know if they're in Cantaloupe's repertoire or not. I don't think they'll decide the race the way it's gone.
It's hard to say because I mean a bad AGA 2 could cost Pizza a fair amount of time if Cantaloupe's able to do it in 2 or 3 less rounds, which is certainly something that I've seen happen in this.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, the blue balls are completely random between the 2 players, so someone could have very valuable patterns and an easy way out, and someone could have it real tough. Just missing the 2 cycle on Landmo 2 here. Oof.
And I mean, again, this is time that Pizza doesn't have to give.
Yeah, it might be a whole floor behind, but Cantaloupe is right on his heels.
Yeah, I mean, Cantaloupe, I would say, I think there was a 3-minute difference. I feel like he's probably cut that down to a minute and a half.
Getting the really nice clean strat in that Wizard 2 room.
I can never do that.
It's beautiful when you see it, and it's not easy to do.
Yeah, these runners make it look easy. It is not. Uh-oh, Cantaloupe having a little bit of a problem here with that gauntlet. Pizza not going to despawn Ganon's Tower. Which, if you ask me, despawning Ganon's Tower should count as killing Yaganin.
I don't know, does he just float up there at the top of the tower? Or rather, where the top of the tower would have been?
Oh no! Cantaloupe also having issues on land mode too. Land mode 2 can be tough. Shooting those silver arrows is incredibly laggy.
So chat, what you're telling me is we should find a way to despawn the pyramid. Well, what is this wiggle pattern from Moldorm 2? And down he goes.
Yep, I don't know if Pizza knows how to hover, but it's good that he didn't go for it. He doesn't have time to...
Well, it's really hard to hover if you don't have boots.
Oh yeah, derp.
This room also not very fun without boots. The ice physics are absolutely terrible. And these helmets would drive you up a wall.
Remember the fun times we had in Ice Palace with the icy floors? Let's do that again. Could you imagine Aghanim on ice? I feel like Aghanim on ice would be wretched.
I wouldn't want to see that any more than I'd like to see Trinex on ice. They just sound like horrible musical knockoffs.
I remember I watched it was one of the first Randomizer seeds that had been done on the SpeedGaming channels, and there was a Trinex on ice, and I want to say it took both runners somewhere around like an hour just to beat Trinex. Oh no, Pizza's having some agonometry problem.
So I was going to say, did we just watch one of the Aghanim attacks get despawned in the wall? Down he goes. Chat confirming, yes, I have not gone crazy in my young age. Give me time. I'm sure we'll fix that.
I've always been crazy. I've just learned to accept it. And so Pizza's going to be jumping into Ganon here at 3:14:07. Almost pi. Ganon, of course, incredibly easy with half magic, gold sword, red mail, and silver arrows. I was like, I'm forgetting something.
To be fair, these runners don't necessarily need those silver arrows, but they're nice to have.
Sure, they make the fight quicker. Cantaloupe not getting great Aga patterns either. Lots of singles. That's a 0. Nice torch glitch.
Oh, just missing it? That could have been the killer right there.
Yeah, that could have been a triple.
Yeah, it was set up to be.
Ooh, that was
And there's the double. So we have bacon for Pizza 34. Let's see some single G's in chat.
And we've got Cantaloupe jumping into the Ganon fight at 3:15:55.
So we're almost 2 minutes behind Pizza on pace right here.
Which that's going to be really tough to make up in Super Metroid. Cantaloupe getting bodied a bit by Ganon. And with their beam combination, there's no worries of ammo. So, really, I think at this rate, the only way Pizza could lose is if he went for stand-up and glitched to the game.
Yeah, bar some absolutely disastrous series of events, I am not seeing too many ways this could go too far south, honestly, for either run.
Yep, and I guess I'll just ask everybody one more quick time to please give both of these guys a follow. They both have put on a great show for us tonight. One more shout out to our tracker, Link40, who kept us honest all night. Did an amazing job. Thanks, Link4.
Seeing some single G's in chat for Cantaloupe taking down Aghanim 3. No, Ganon.
Aghanim 3, wait a minute here. You thought having to fight Aghanim twice was bad. Just wait till you have to fight him the third time.
He's just thinking, third time's a charm. If not, I'll despawn the whole pyramid and Link in it.
So is there like 6 Aga ghosts on Aga 3?
I think we can stop there.
Just to wrap up my thought, please also give a follow to my co-commentator Zaru. It's been a fun time co-commentating with you. I hope you've had a fun.
Yeah,
It's been okay.
I'm too busy trying not to laugh at the moment. Now, this scene has been a blast. It hasn't been very kind to our runners. We had an hour-long hammer hunt that ended at the bottom of Ice Palace. It's not somewhere you'd like to find the hammer.
Cantaloupe has entered Turian. For a minute, I thought Pizza was going to skip the energy refill room, and I was like, that's a bull.
Don't remind me, chat, that Sunday weekly that we had this weekend on Hard Logic, that was... Oof. That was a seed. It's the kind of seed that's both hard to play and incredibly fun to watch.
Pizza heading into Mother Brain's room. Freezes at Rinka, gets hit, jumps through the Zebetite, and he's through.
Yeah, and notice he doesn't have the wave beam, so what Pizza had to do is he had to use a charged plasma shot to be able to pierce the wall enough to get that Rinka. Cantaloupe's not going to have that issue, but it's only going to save him so much time.
Pizza on a Mother Brain Phase 2. Cantaloupe at the baby.
No, he actually reset away the wave beam after he found it the first time because he checked Shack Tool.
Yeah, somebody more familiar with, I was just gonna ask what Thalfron in chat just asked was, I wonder if without wave, if it would have been quicker to refill and use super.
Now, it's been discussed earlier in chat that charge ice plasma is 600, so it's going to be 30 shots. Because they do twice as much damage as a super missile. And Pizza's set up for stand-up here.
And Cantaloupe is heading into his other brain too.
Not something you usually see unless the race is that close. We have two mother brains on the screen, folks. Our runners are separated by mere minutes here.
Yeah, and Cantaloupe's going to make up a little bit of time here with the wave.
Cantaloupe with only 20 shots as opposed to Pizza's 30, but Pizza is in the stand-up glitch. He is going to save some Hyper Beam shots after MB2 takes down the baby Metroid.
I would not expect to see, as long as there's not a dot done. I don't think either of these runners would save the animals. You don't go for the memes when you're playing in a tournament for cash.
Yeah, good stand-up glitch by Pizza. Only a handful of shots to take down Mother Brain 3. That means we have a dead brain on the left side of the screen. We are a 3-minute escape sequence. Ugh. Words are hard, see? A 3-minute escape sequence.
I always liked the way the parents talked in Charlie Brown. Yeah, this has been a really good race. Very enjoyable to watch. I mean, yeah, it's pretty rare for these to be this close. Hitaka's gonna have his work cut out for him.
Alright, Pizza is out of Turian. It is a climb up criteria between him and the ship. Gets the Behemoth Spark. Chat is calling for the animals to be saved. You don't do that. Not in a race that you don't know is this close when you've got them tapping on your shoulder. Pizza giving them the skip.
Yep, and it looks like Pizza is going to be finishing in first place with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 52 seconds.
But that's not all, folks. Get your GGs in chat for Pizza, but now it is Cantaloupe's turn to have an escape sequence.
Well, chat, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I think that you're gonna like what Cantaloupe is gonna do. I used my magic powers to look into the future. I am actually a witch, sorry.
That explains why I felt bedazzled this entire run.
What is this music? Oh, good. We went back to Super Metroid music. Phew.
Yeah, for anyone who hasn't played an SMZ3 seed, the the credits roll plays the original Star Fox theme from the Super Nintendo, and we're going down.
I don't know why, but on my SNES that I used to emulator that I used to play this, the sound always breaks eventually. So I've never actually heard the music when you beat the game, because usually the sound is busted and I don't care to restart.
And we just watched Cantaloupe save the animals, folks.
And a swag spark out of there. Alright, and Cantaloupe is going to be finishing in second place, which unfortunately eliminates him from the tournament with a time of 3 hours, 27 minutes, and 12 seconds.
Alright, GG's to both of our runners, splitting that difference 2.5 minutes apart.
As a reminder, there is another race coming up at 10:10, I believe, on this very channel. I think we're going to see if we can get these guys in here for an interview.
Hello.
We've got Cantaloupe joining us here in the Discord call, and how do you feel about that?
Well, let's see here. I fought, I lost, and now I rest.
And you put up one hell of a fight, too, towards the end there. You two finished literally 2.5 minutes between each other. It was a heel-by-heel approach.
Yeah, it'd been a little quicker on the finish, but he got done when I looked over after the brain dropped, so I was like, we gotta shave the animals. We gotta meme a little bit.
Well, you made chat very happy.
Well, thank you.
Pizza said he cannot do voice, so he will not be joining us for the interview.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Pizza, for a good run.
Yeah, hell of a race, man. We talked a little bit in the IRC about it, I mean, that morph location was not the most ideal, but the seed was screaming it, but we both did not want to do it.
You got down to a point where both of you were thinking it's either going to be in Misery Mire or it's going to be on the pyramid. And you, one after the other, marched to the Misery Mire and found your morph ball.
Yeah, the pyramid play was still coming into my head until I found flippers, because I'm like, you know what? We still don't have access to that part. I went to Meridia first and got some good stuff there, and I was hammer mode and at like 130, 140-ish, and I was like, well, it's gonna be in Super Metroid, just dig through it. And I dug through the entire thing, left a few checks, and I'm sitting there going, okay, I know I orphaned a few, but I needed to orphan those out of the way because I know Pizza's skill in Super Metroid is above mine, so I have to take these risks. And when the hammer wasn't coming up, I'm thinking, yep, my gambles did not pay off. And then when I went to Ice Palace, and it was the worst possible chest it could be in Ice Palace. That's why the Bugs Bunny gif went up.
And believe me, that got quite a holler from the chat. We loved it.
And I'm glad y'all liked it. At that point, I knew I was going to be behind. But it still puzzled me because, I was like, well, at least I want to get Gan's Tower before I lose. And then I don't see the dot done yet. I was like, okay, well. And then when I saw Big Key on the right, I was like, okay, that's why. There's no dot done yet. So maybe when I finish Gan's Tower, then I'm like, what the hell? Why is he not done yet? And when Mother Brain dropped, I was like, there it is.
And we saw the morph ball in a bad location. We saw the hammer in a bad location. We saw a last check Big Key in Ganon's Tower. That seed did almost everything it could have except early to screw you both up.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch. I don't know what his routing was in the beginning, but it was like it threw us early, glove, morph ball. I mean, not morph ball, but Pearl was decent. It was it threw almost all the items at us. Once we got to Super Metroid, we really didn't have to find that much. And then it turned out to be that, and I figured once I haven't taken the Lost Highway in a while, so I figured that was a good transition point there.
Chat was not particularly happy with your choice to do the Lost Highway.
They call it Forgotten Highway for a reason.
Hey, hopefully I made up for it with saving the animals for you, chat. I'm sorry, but that was the play I wanted to make, and that's why I did it. After Plasma, it made sense.
I mean, you guys were honestly really close the entire time. In the beginning, you guys kind of checked the opposite things, but then you checked the other stuff. And Pizza looked like he was going to do Aga. He went into the castle and did the first room of Aga, and then realized he could do Meyer, and he went and did Meyer instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the low health was interesting in the beginning just because, we didn't have a lot of health in Link to the Past, and, I think I had 3 or 4 crystals with only like 4 or 5 hearts.
Yeah, I don't remember which one of you had 4 and which one had 7, and you were both dipping dungeons.
Oh, I had 4 for a while, so it was probably me, because I know I did Thieves Town with 4, I did Skull Woods with 4, and, of course, Hera's no big deal with 4, but, and Desert's no big deal with 4. I mean, hell, that's what you got in the vanilla run, so it was really not that big of a deal, but it threw then everything just started coming together. Hook shot, fire rod, ice rod, and once I got that fire rod, that changed my gameplay, because I was going to go down and do the south area, but then once I got fire rod, I was like, you know what? Let's go and take care of Skull Woods. And then I saw the book, and I was like, well, now I have to double back because I need to know if this is a pet seed. It could have been a pet seed. I mean, I knew Hammer wasn't going to be on Ped, but just with the way it was going, I was expecting something to be on Ped. But, it turned out not to be.
All right, well, I think that we need to wrap this up as there's another race on this channel. Oh, no, it's fine. We're not that out of time. But is there anything you would like to say to everybody really quick here?
Nah, enjoyed the tournament. Pizza, hell of a race. Sorry I couldn't make it in here to talk about, but hell of a race. Enjoyed this tournament. Lasted longer than I thought. That's what she said. But it was definitely a lot of fun. So had a blast.
All right, well, it was awesome watching you. You put up a hell of a race, and nice job in this tournament. This was a stacked tournament. Making it this far is certainly nothing to sneeze at. So excellent job. I'd like to remind everybody that Pizza's going on to face Hitaka in the next round. And coming up next... oops, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm glad I don't face Hitaka now.
Yep, coming up in about 15 minutes on this very channel. What is a channel? On this very channel is Super Nintendo vs. Dragon Dart. That is the last of our round 1 matches, so please stay tuned and catch that. It's going to be a fun race to watch, I'm sure. And thanks to everybody. I'm going to be...
Yep, thank you to Eleanor for being commentator for us today. Lots of big thanks to our tracker, Link40, keeping us honest and making sure we know where we're going. Also, a shout out to Total for the code for this randomizer. And our setup volunteer today was Mind of Me. She's the one who brought me in here, much against my will. No.
big shout out to Mind of Me. She's awesome.
Yeah, when things happen, the setup volunteers and our background crew at SpeedGaming are what keep us running. So, with that said, stay tuned. We've got another race coming up right after this one. Don't go away.